Hello.
Hey.
Hey, so we're going to be talking about Facebook today and why you, as a home builder, should be using it. I know this is, to me, the easy one to convince you. This is not hard to tell you, like, you should be using Facebook. You already know that. But in case you're, like, on the fence and you don't really want to invest heavily in Facebook like you probably should be, we're going to dive into that. We're going to talk about some stats. We're going to give you some arguments as to what you can be doing and why you should be doing it. So welcome to Home Builder Happy Hour. We're back.
We're back.
So for those of you who just moved here from another planet and don't know what Facebook is, we're going to tell you.
I'm going to answer that question. What is Facebook? This new platform. I've never heard of it.
One of my clients used to call it the Spacebook. It's unlikely you're watching this YouTube video right now, but if you are, I still sometimes call it the Spacebook, just for you. Okay, so definition, Ryan.
All right. Facebook is a social networking site where users can post, comment, like, share photos, videos, links, and more.
Right.
Yeah. Facebook has
Social.
added more and more functionality as it grows and as the time goes on, but they're continually trying to broaden what their platform does.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
that they continue their dominance and their control over really everything we do on our phones or on our computers. So they've added functionalities like Facebook Live, groups, which hopefully you already know about, but we'll talk about marketplace, stories, nonprofit support, and more.
Right? Not to mention they bought Instagram. Let's just say Facebook is hungry for growth.
Yeah.
Public company, they gotta get us all.
Get us all in there.
They're working on it. They're doing a pretty good job. I mean, they're still dominating. We're going to show a chart to you later that I love the graphic, because a lot of times I hear this from clients and friends who know what I do. So should I stop using Facebook now? It's like, that one's almost over, right? No. Still dominating. I mean, Facebook and YouTube, if you could only spend in two places, I'd probably go there. Maybe Instagram too. Kind of love that network.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, let's talk about why you should use Facebook. Because, the stats are strong. Let's go through them. The first one, which I think is pretty amazing, and this is that graphic that I love, so you might as well just bring it up. But you should use it because 68% of Americans are using it. 68%, only topped by YouTube at 73%. So the thing is, you personally, you don't need to get on Facebook. If you don't want to have a Facebook account, that's totally fine. It's your prerogative. We don't need to be friends. I don't need to know what you had for dinner or what you're doing with your grandkids or kids or parents or friends. It's okay. I'm down. But if you're a business, you better get busy, get your Facebook page going, getting your Facebook group up, posting your events so people can join them.
Yeah.
We better get on this. Okay. 68% of Americans. It's not too shabby.
Yeah. There's some places you need to be, and that's one of them.
Yes. So 35% of Facebook's audience is under 25, and another 30% is 25 to 34. So, here, we got to hang up. Sorry. So anyway, you can see, actually the spread of the demographic is you got some pretty big chunks. So yes, you have a younger audience, which another thing I hear is, but all the young people, they're on Instagram or Snapchat. Well, yes, Snapchat does have 90% of that 12 to 24-year-old or something like that. But Facebook, 30% is in that younger age demographic. But then it climbs. So we have another huge chunk in the 25 to 34. But that's just another very similar chunk in the 35 to 45. So it's pretty spread. And we still have the 55 plusers right here using Facebook. Yep.
Right. Yeah, Facebook does a good job of grabbing, all audiences and spreading out
They really
the
do.
diversity of their user base.
Yes. And they're always changing, so they're really trying to bring you on. All right, 200 million people are members of meaningful Facebook groups.
So before you get to that, because
Oh,
I think
sorry.
you skipped over one
I did.
highly
Oh my
important
God.
aspect
I totally
of
did.
Facebook,
Skipped.
is that Americans spend about 58 minutes a day on Facebook.
Yeah.
You can compare that to 17 minutes a month on LinkedIn. Two very different types of user bases
Yes.
and two very different types of use. But Facebook gets the eyes. Facebook,
It gets your time.
It gets your time.
So, thank you. Because I actually added that and researched it just this morning because I was like, really? That's a lot of time. Where is this number online? So I was looking at that to make sure. And there's different numbers out there. But I know for sure, as of June of last year, it was 48 minutes a day on average on Facebook. And Instagram's around the same. Now they're both in the 50s. So you're getting about 50-something minutes and 50-something minutes a day of people using each of these social networks. I mean,
Right, and
it's a lot of time.
The amount of content that they bring in from that, is a lot of content. I think about that time, 58 minutes a day on Facebook. To relate it to something older is how long did people used to spend reading a newspaper?
Right.
Reading
Yeah.
a magazine, an industry-specific magazine, and you've got a much bigger audience, and they're still spending
Right.
A lot of time for shorter
Yes.
content.
You have captivated their attention on this network. So that's a very important fact. But yes, back to the Facebook groups thing. 200 million people are part of an effective Facebook group or a meaningful Facebook group. And I want to talk about this for a second because number one, that's a lot of people. Okay. Number two, Facebook is prioritizing on probably their top 3 initiatives, Facebook groups, because they want you to have that meaningful connection with people who are like-minded, they're your friends, there's something you're interested in, whatever it is. I'm in several Facebook groups right now that are very meaningful to me. They're very active, and I do not know the other people in this group, but we are sharing a similar desire, okay? And so we're in there, we're talking about the thing that we like, and believe me, Facebook is pushing all those posts to the very top of my feed. It is the first thing I see when I go in is what's happening in my groups, and that's on purpose. So this is very important, okay? Another stat, 78%.
78% of American consumers have discovered retail products to buy on Facebook, which outranks Pinterest and Instagram.
Yeah.
People are finding, products,
Things to buy.
on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Absolutely. So that's huge. 78% of Americans, okay, just wanted to say that again, are finding products to buy on Facebook. So, the advertising is working. 30% of marketers think Facebook offers the highest digital ROI ahead of every other social media platform. I would agree. I mean, when we look at the stats, and we run a lot of stats here every month and especially every quarter and definitely year's end. I love to see the picture of the whole year and how everything trended. But Facebook has a very high return on your investment. So when you're comparatively looking at things like Google Analytics or Google AdWords, I should say, within your Google Analytics, and how much you're spending there versus how much you're spending on Facebook versus how much you're spending on Instagram, and looking at that cost per engagement, that cost per click, how much traffic is actually being driven to the website, the ROI in that regard is there. Home builders, we have work to do on connecting those people who then join the interest list. For us, we can show data for many of our clients that far. They joined from this, source. It's beyond that. Did they buy a home? It's connecting what's happening here with what you have on the CRM side.
Right.
Can we mesh the two? I know it can be done. It needs to be done because the data is going to be so rich when we have that.
Right.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to help you. So it's going to help you figure out exactly where you need to spend your money.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can all be tracked now.
I know. Okay, 31% of businesses use Facebook Messenger. So let's talk about that for a second. 31% of businesses are using Facebook Messenger. This is an opportunity for you as a business to get in not too heavily competitive area to reach customers. So, and there are advertising opportunities in Facebook Messenger. So just, it's a good little stat. It's a good little reason why.
Right. Yeah.
What else is there? What's the last one?
Mobile optimized Facebook video lifts brand awareness to 67%.
What does that mean?
It's.
I'll tell you what it means. Listen, if your content is optimized for the mobile experience, and there is a difference in creating an ad that's optimized for desktop and an ad that's optimized for your mobile device, the performance on the mobile optimized ad is so much higher, because I don't know what the stat is for how many people are looking on mobile versus on a desktop, but it's significantly higher on mobile because of the Facebook mobile app.
Right.
And so you really need to pay attention to how you're designing your ads and what they're optimized for. So that's basically saying it increases your brand awareness if you're optimized for mobile by 67%. So there you go.
There you go.
Those are like stats that tell you like why you should be using it. So if you weren't sure before, I hope you're sure now.
I hope you're sure now. Yeah.
Okay, next part.
So how are companies using Facebook? How are companies using Facebook today? They're using it to promote events, sales, company updates, news, products. There's really so much going on with Facebook and what companies can do on promoting everything that they do within Facebook. There's a kind of a little not a niche for your business, but a niche for every aspect of your business within Facebook. To be able to promote events, have people RSVP to things that you've got going on, but also to promote the company culture.
Yes.
On Facebook, to promote your product lines. There's so many different areas and aspects of how to use Facebook for your business, and Facebook continues to try to put out new products to make sure that the business company or the business customer is supremely happy with the product that Facebook puts out.
Absolutely. So you have like your sales piece, obviously, like you're a business, you have to have the sales piece, but more importantly is the cultural piece. I mean, that is what, when you're looking at content, people are buying these days because, well, either they need that product desperately or, they are intrigued by who you are. They're like in on your brand and who you are as a company. So they're gonna like buy your product over yours. Like you're way cooler. Okay. There's this whole thing in social media is going on. So showcasing that's how people are using it. But going deeper is going to be the customer relationship, the customer experience, the actual like, oh, there's a person speaking to me through Messenger. I can ask a question and it is answered.
Right.
By a human. And then I can have a conversation with them. Or if I'm, that's like a potential customer or a buyer, someone who's bought your product and they're just like loving it. They're super, of course, if they're hating it, they're probably there too. Whatever. There's ways to deal with that. But they're there. You get to talk to your customers and they know it. And they know that you're going to respond to them. At least if you're one of our customers, you're going to get a response. So hopefully you're responding to them too.
Right.
But that's how businesses are using Facebook.
Yeah, it goes from everything from that global perspective of pushing messages out to everyone to all the way down to that direct one-on-one conversation, with a customer.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot to do.
Okay, so lastly, how can you, Joe Homebuilder, be using Facebook to market your homes, right? Because that's what we're here to talk about.
That's right.
Ryan's going over the first one.
So the first thing you can do is take advantage of rich media to keep followers interested in your content. So you can use 3D photos, GIFs, video, more. So a big change, that Facebook has gone through, because people slide through that feed. They can slide through that feed pretty quickly, so your content can be missed or lost. So take advantage of content that stops people, that allows people to, want to engage with
This is where the rich media comes in, which we're going to show you an example of right now so you can see it for yourself.
Yeah. So when we look at a Facebook feed or the images posted, I've got one up here right now from someone that's a VR video. So when you scroll down a feed, you'll see that image moves. It gives a little bit more element to stop your eye versus static images, which still can be appealing, but the video has that little extra element, to say, oh, I can stop and take a look at something and say, oh, hey, I can look around.
Right. It's so beautiful. I mean, this is a great example of rich media. I know for ourselves, we have started to do some of this type of VR video, which is amazing, and it brings that experience to the page. And we know it's important because the stats are there to support that type of information or that type of content is performing much higher than the static photo anymore these days. I mean, it's still performing better than just a link. Like, that's hardly performing at all. You want to stay away from that. Just try not to do that. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, that's what's getting people.
Right. You need that engaging content.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next thing is, you could create a messenger bot strategy. So I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that we haven't actually done this for a client yet, but what we do have is messenger automatic responses. So for sure, when people have a question and they're always messaging our Facebook pages, we have automatic responses that go out to let them know, hey, we're going to be on this real shortly, and they get that instantaneously so that they know their message has been received. And that actually it really makes a difference in your communications behind the scenes. And then we're very responsive. So we're in there on the daily, maybe excluding weekends. But even then, we get those messages. And if it looks super important, we get back to people. And so having that, communication and being right on top of that is important. But the bots is not super new, but it is relatively new in the timeline of things. Mm-hmm. So you can program bots to come in and send out automatic responses based on, questions that people are asking a lot.
Right. You've got your frequently asked questions. Yeah. You know what people
are
asking.
They are. What's your HOA fee? Well, you can have that HOA will trigger an automatic response and here's the range, or here's what it is this year. You can update those questions, those responses as you go.
Right.
But generic stuff like that just gives people their answer right away, that's a great strategy for a page that's getting a lot of questions.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's next?
So the next thing is, we mentioned a couple times, is create or join Facebook groups.
Yes.
So I know we've been emphasizing, hopefully you've been watching our other videos, but groups are where Facebook is going. And being able to go out and say, hey, you can create some of your own groups. You can create groups for your fan clubs, your super fans, have areas that you can...
Your super fans.
Yeah, that you can manage, you can manage the discussions, you can manage, who's in and who's out of that group, but it allows a more direct, contact, and also that information gets pushed into their feed, top priority. So.
I mean, you'll definitely be hearing from us on, actually creating groups for our clients, super lovers. We can see people who are engaging in a positive way, and there are ways to take these people and put them into a group. And those those are the people that you want to have in a group, and then you want to be asking them things and having a hey guys, we're trying to decide between this and that paint color, let's say, or what do you even think? I just want to do a poll. Which one are you resonating with you better for a bathroom? And get people's feedback, because this makes them feel so tight with your brand and valued that they will share that love. I mean, your name would be the first one at the gate if someone was looking for a new home in a neighborhood that they lived in, or anywhere. I mean, if you were really close to, let's say, Shea brand, and you were in one of their groups, and someone was moving, you would be oh, be sure if they have Shea homes in that area, you should look at those. Those people are amazing. I love the stuff that they do. That's it. That's all it takes is that little nudge. But that's what groups are for. They're for to all communicate together. Would I recommend that you take all your home buyers and put them in a group? That would need some lengthy discussion, I think. probably not. I don't think I would recommend that. But there's so many people you could have in a group. And like Ryan said, remember, you have control of the group. So if someone is misbehaving, there are ways to address that because you started the group. You're the admin of the group and you have control of the group. Mm-hmm. So I just have definitely morphed my opinions from the beginning of Facebook and how we should treat people who are liking our pages and being, active with us in some way from, everybody gets to have their say. I'm away from that now because guess what? It's your brand. It's your page. And no, I'm not going to ban and delete every negative comment that's out there, but it's yours. And there is, something to say for that. So you get to be in charge of the page and the group.
That's where you want to be.
That's where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So the last way that we would highly recommend
is using Facebook Live and Facebook Stories.
Yes.
So you may use stories in Instagram or Facebook, but the stories in Facebook today are being underutilized. Mm-hmm. It's not. People are loving to see them. They're using them,
right.
But businesses are not, using them to their advantage.
Right, but they can be. Mm-hmm. There was once upon a time you couldn't have stories as a business page, which actually wasn't that long ago. But now you can. And I think most people are using it from their Instagram right now, and they're just doing the story on their Instagram and then pushing it to their Facebook page or their personal page, whatever they're connected with on Instagram. So you're starting to see more stories up there, I think very similar to what's on Instagram. But this is where the opportunity is right now because it is growing. Facebook stories are growing. Facebook will push it until they're done, I don't think they will be done. I think they'll grow as people are getting more acquainted with Instagram stories. That's going to be a thing on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So it's an opportunity to get up and so many people look at the stories, I will say, and it's like a number you can see versus how many people might have seen your post based on, if they liked it or whatever.
Right.
You have stats, but to go up and see that people actually look through your story and know exactly who those people are that just looked at it, it's very powerful. So I would say jump in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Facebook Live, as we've discussed, and we have a video up already about how to utilize Facebook Live for your business.
Yeah.
So make sure you go and check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah, we'll add it to the end of this video, and we'll definitely put the link to the Facebook Live and why you should be doing Facebook Live and how you can utilize it in the notes of this video.
Sounds good.
Okay. Hey, if you have any suggestions for us or, there's ways that you're using Facebook that is just hitting it out of the park that you would love to share with all of the public, please post it in our comments. And if you have questions, let us know.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Hey, guys. It's Kelly here.
And Ryan.
Hey, I really want you to do me a huge favor and please subscribe to our channel. I'm sure there's like a subscribe button around here. I want you to push it. And then you're subscribed. And then the second thing for you to do is to ring the little bell. It's like a bell. Ring it. You click it and it shakes. And that means you're going to get notifications every time we have a new video. And then I have one more job for you, and that is to grab this, your cell phone, and I want you to send us a text and just get on our text list. Text HBHH to the number 797979, and we'll send you a sweet little text with a link to our newest videos. Thanks.